Alright.
Welcome to Garden Gnomes, etc., where we will bring your gardens to life. Tonight I'm going to be your tour guide as we go into the mysterious country known as Gnomeland. So we're going to start off our program over here, our journey into Gnomeland, with our first gnome, and he is called Smeagol. What makes these water features so cool during the night is the different lights that we have. And there's a fountain here with a light, and it makes the fountain sort of turn like a golden color. Now as we come here, our next gnome is Finko. Coming down, the guy with the axe, or the pick, his name is Hoggle. Come to the next. This is Mr. Sourtoes. Come across to the next one, holding the watering can. That's Delbert. The next gnome we have is carrying a wheelbarrow, and his name is Smeagol. Now these big gnomes are the ones that sort of made a lot of this water feature. They have the different picks, the axes, the shovels, the watering can for the plants we put in, and also the wheelbarrow to take the dirt away. Now as we come along, we have our first rock, and his name's Curly. Now coming along, we got 4 different mushrooms here. The first one over to the left, the big one, is honey, and we got 2 side by side, is fuzzy foot and shoestring. The next one over is inky cap. Now we carry some different types of gnome accessories, and right here is a hollowed out tree, and they made a wheelbarrow out of it. Now over here we have the Whittler gnome, and all he does is whittle on wood all day, and he's sitting on a stump throne right now, which he carved that out too. Now the gnome over here, carrying a staff and a bird in his hand, is Igor. Another cool water feature, part of the water feature here, is this water fountain. And what that does is it keeps changing colors from red, blue, purple, white, and if you notice, the water that goes up in the air has the color of whatever the light is. And down below over here to the right, we have a pond fogger, and that just continually fogs, puts fog all over the place, and it continually changes different colors, and it keeps throwing bubbles of water up in the air while it fogs. Now we're coming to another gnome called Orlon. Now Orlon looks confused. I think he's looking for his workers who have taken a break, like this guy up here, who's called Almo. He's smoking his pipe. Over in the water feature itself, we have a big troll holding a frog. His name is Twilly. Now we're getting into the smaller gnomes that we have here, and the first one up here is Sunshine, sleeping on the rock. Then we got 3 more trolls. They're playing in the waterfalls here, and their name is Oath, Siggy, and Icky. Coming right around up to the next gnome we have, his name is Punwacket. And the one up above him is called Jibberjack. Now in the back there, we have wrinkle bottoms. We come down the water feature a little bit. We have Cory Dare. And a lot of times on your water features, you can really make them shine at night. We have what I call the geyser here. It's lit up yellow, and that's where the input of our water is coming up. This little gnome is sitting on a rock, and his name's Delfugo. Right here is our next rock, and his name is Mo. So we have Curly, Mo, and I don't know where Larry's at. Now up at the top here, we have another little gnome, and his name is Needler. Now our next gnome over here in the water feature where he's taking a little siesta is Vern. Our next rock has feet on it, and his name's Rock and Roll. And tonight's special, these guys have really gone out of their way. They really have the fog and a laser show. Now going up a little bit, we have 2 ladybugs. One's called Sophia, and the other one's Lanai. Come across, this is one of 3 or 4 spitters that we carry. It's an egret spitting water, and what's cool is that there's a pump in the water and it just recirculates in the pond. Coming down is one of the few lady gnomes that we have, and her name is Gertie. Okay, coming down to the other side of our water feature, we have a gnome called Nipper. Going up a little bit with the walking stick is Papa Birdie. Now going up a little bit, something real cool that we have, it's a tree ent. And his name is Sequoia Sam. Now coming right along, our next gnome is Miner, and he's climbing up a ladder. He's got a pick. You see all the rocks. He's the one that digs a lot of the holes here. You can see all the rocks that are around him. Now our next feature is another gnome accessory. It's a woodland watering can, and it features a tree frog in the middle of it, coming right in between of the mushrooms. Moving right along. Our next feature is Hickory Huck. It's another tree with a real cool tree frog on the top. Right along. There's another fairy statuary. You can carry one that's sort of like this, but not. It's a little different. It's holding a pot instead of a clamshell. So this one I don't have to offer. Coming to our last gnome. Large gnome. He's holding a shovel, and he's the one that dug a lot of the different falls and ponds and the streams and stuff. His name is Binko. I want to thank you guys for our journey to Gnomeland. I hope you had a good time. Take it easy.